Boop, 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 three. Boop, 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 three. Beep, beep. So that is my opening for book three. So this is my third little microphone session, and I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I just wanted to get it up and running as quick as possible because just want to keep the ideas going. So if you're listening to that previous video, I'll call it book two, but I don't think I labeled the file that. I'd also have to find it. And then book one, but I didn't label it that either. I don't know what I labeled it. Something silly. And I'm very poor at that type of file management. But hopefully that there's other people that are out there that are good that can assist me, and that's great because everyone's good at different things. So I'm just here and I'm constructing ideas and thinking of stuff and just trying to build some of this stuff forward. I think I should find an idea in this book in front of me and then talk about it. So let's do that. There are, let me just take a peek. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different pictures, .com names, just random, figural. Birds tend to show up a lot, but like more cartoony birds. It's not, it's all quick. They're all like sketched within, I don't know. Some of them are 30 seconds, some of them are 5 minutes, but I don't ever get too detailed. I think when you get too bogged down in a sketch, and the more you tighten it up, the more it actually takes away. I look at art as the beauty of art is when the education of the artist to know when to stop creating, because at some point in time, I think the marks on the page become the most beautiful thing that only they have a chance to see, and it's their choice to allow the rest of the world to see that, and to continue to scribble over that is like, that's a pretty messed up thing to do. But as the artist, you don't even know you're doing it. So I always try to just find that sweet spot to stop when I make a picture. And so I'm jumping as I talk. I can hear I jump into kind of two trains of thought. The train of thought of this kind of monotone, and that's kind of like queuing up the thought. I think talking a little bit slower allows you to dig around to find something to go through, to go down and speak to and be articulate about. And then there's the train of thought I'm in right now, and the way I'm talking, where it's more authoritative, and I've already kind of captured the thought. If you notice, I stop for a second, but then I'm regurgitating that thought pretty quickly at a robust pace, and it kind of flow off my tongue because you're not trying to catch a whole bunch of fireflies through your fingers. You're actually have something more tangible that you could, like the bridge that you could actually walk down, or something that you can hold in your hand for a second, maybe like water. It'll slowly drip away. But I just wanted to flip through. So yeah, that was just so that's another train of thought, I think, too, is where I step back and then I go into it was like a teacher mode or something, like, oh, let's look at the pictures, and that's how work is. It's like, let's talk about design, and there's a certain way to speak to your coworkers, and there's a certain way to speak to your friends and family, and I'm just trying to spend, I guess, a little bit of this video, since I didn't know what I was going to talk about, is the ability to choose and hear and break up a thought into kind of additional sub-thoughts to reach a point that they either get you to somewhere different or to get to where you need to be. And I guess that's a logical mindset where, if people say live with the heart, and I guess what I'm speaking to isn't just thinking, because there's people with high IQs. It's more about I don't know, Warren Buffett said something about, like, it doesn't matter how much horsepower you have, it matters, like, that you're getting the efficiency of all that horsepower. And so I think breaking up a thought and deconstructing it can allow for that horsepower to go faster or slower, to pick away what we consider to be problems, because there's a reason that you want that motor to go faster, and I think you need to step back and look at that reason, and that reason's tucked away in the molecules of a thought that come together, that become, whatever the heck we are. So we're just I'm just trying to break down what I consider that thought, and these thoughts to be in this whole thing. I mean, so, it starts as one thing and it leads to another, and I can always keep jumping back. Like, what's nice about this video is I just wanted to turn it on and talk and break in this microphone that's super new. It's really nice. Heil PR. It's like I searched for it for, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. It's a while to look at a microphone, I guess. And then I realized I needed a Scarlet 2i2 USB thing for the XLR cable or whatever. See, I'm talking like I know what I'm doing, but I don't know. Long story short, the guy at Guitar Center, this is the box I need, because I was looking at US or whatever the adapter is, the XLR USB in, whatever that Scarlet thing is, to a mixer board, and I just didn't know which one to choose, and the research wasn't telling me, and that's probably something, there's a niche market out there that somebody can fix, but yeah, I don't think, I don't know, it's not for me. So that was that story, but yeah, let me see if I can find a picture. Isn't that what Wood was all about? So that's the thing, there are a lot of just images, but images can be fun, and I think there's ways to get people engaged in images and then potentially find ways to distribute that content, because again, it's unique content, is exciting and original, and I think that's why there's so many of these art sites. And I don't think an art site is not that it's a bad idea. I think that there's just a million of them out there. Like, I don't think the site that this could ever go on would be considered an art site, because it wouldn't be able to stand out. Like, it's basically a personal reflection. If I had to explain it, it's like a personal reflection of an artist. So although that there's pictures being shown, maybe the way that the content's constructed and distributed is a story that's thought-provoking and can engage the audience to just want to listen and hear what might be said next, and maybe a headline that brings you in to want to listen to the thought and take it or leave it, and that thought is another just thing paired with potentially, I look at it as more of the ideas in the book. So I think if combining those ideas with the story and giving the backstory on the idea to kind of paint the full picture in a way that a lot of people could digest. So maybe, even though I hate the typing part, it comes in 3 forms of content. It covers you have to type a bit of the story of however amount you feel is needed. You have the images in the book to support the story, which could just help for the graphics and layout and to fill a nice open space. And then the microphone, so whether this is a podcast or it gets overlaid into a video, or I don't know, I ship you this on a memory card to your house, so or something along those lines. But yeah, so I'm going to go back to the book real quick, just focus there. See, it's just a lot of pictures, and it's just a lot of weird stuff. It's like, I don't know, I just have these, I let the pen kind of do the work, and I step back and work hard to check out mentally, to not allow wherever the direction of the object or the image is going, or the idea, to be interfered with until I come into a thought. So I'm just looking at, there's a page where it's like a hot air balloon, a giraffe tucked into a turtle shell, tucked into a kangaroo legs, with a little Joey and its giraffe kangaroo pouch, and balloons and trees and horizon lines drawn in there, and a couple little poppy lines. And I each one of those thoughts is a unique thought combined, so that, if I was going to explain that type of thought process in pieces, like, you have to jump in and know you're going to want to draw a giraffe neck, because it's a big, long, tall neck, and that decision, if that decision's made, I could use really loose marks to build thoughts and ideas, and then once you have those loose marks dialed in, you're like, oh, okay, I want to make it a giraffe because I have animals in my head. So you're stepping back, and you have to really understand, once the decision's made to draw that shape, you just complete that, and then the combination of animal parts, to me, is like a combination of thought to create something that's still grounded in almost like a kid using Legos instead of. So that's to me that's a really close thought. That's a really close knit thought because you're really close to the idea at that point. You're still working with. You're still really close to not branching out and exploring like the depths of that idea, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because you're using puzzle pieces to construct the idea, and those puzzle pieces are pre-existing thoughts or things. So a turtle's one thing, a giraffe's another thing, a kangaroo's something, and you're combining those animals that you know into something new. So there's only so far that creativity will take you because you're grounding it in just a couple animals that you're familiar with. So, well, I guess what I'm getting at is the deeper creativity, and I don't know if I have an image that's in there, but it's the harder, faster lines. So there's these drawings that you just, I mean, the more lines you can get down on the page in the less amount of time, the less your mind has the ability to jump in and try to construct a giraffe or a kangaroo or whatever. So, so my thought is, just looking at how you, I'm just flipping through a couple other things, but how far out you can build that thought and how far removed you can get from those tangible objects. So it's like the fast lines and the ability for those lines to construct something completely original without your mind interfering with that originality comes at the speed of how quickly those lines can be put down. But it's tricky, because maybe that's not the best way to explain it. So the speed's one thing, and then no matter what, if there's ever an image pulled out of those fast lines, that's your mind using its second layer to construct the second half of the image. So that's the formation of the turtle shell, if that makes sense. So if you step out and you look at, okay, we're a little bit further out, and we've moved past our building blocks with the turtle and animal pieces, and now we're constructing that animal piece. So now we're building the turtle shell. So the idea of those fast lines moving and then coming back to an image at the end is your mind shaping or building something out of those lines. That's where like the real creativity and beauty comes in, because you're now like taming a wild horse, I guess. You're honing in on something that is intangible and unique to you, and I guess that's what art is in certain levels. It's just the breakdown of uniqueness, and like I said before, I think it's up to the artist to decide when they want to give that image to the world and at what level. And if you can take it to a finished, beautiful spot like a photograph, I mean, that's a skill set that's just beyond. It's meticulous, and it's based in a lot of technicality and a technical skill, and so I totally look up to it, and I think that's where I'm at today because of all the time I spent in art museums, and when I was a security guard in art museums, just watching paintings for 12 hours out of the day. It was the best, worst experience of my life. So. And it was amazing. There was a lot of good stuff that came out of it. Just being on your feet all day, 8 hours, couldn't sit down. So, security guard slacking, sitting on the bench. But, I sat down every once in a while. They had me on camera, but my feet were barking. So, sorry, security team. Good times over there. So, I don't know, I'm just flipping through this stuff. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. I've been talking for a while. But I think what I want to do is just, whether it's paging through and just talking like this and kind of catching a thought and explaining it back, do something like that, because I think now everyone can look at this giraffe picture, and the combination of this voice file is something that it's I don't know, it's now become something more. So maybe there's a couple more layers you can add on to it, and a couple more ways to engage. And if I just animate the image on TV to have it be a bunch of different pieces and come together, and it's my software nerdy side coming in. And we can talk about my software. I love software. If you guys ever, I'm sure we'll get there. Gosh, probably. Oh, if this ever becomes something, there's a lot to be discussed in that space, because it's just it's intangible. The rate of what it's moving and what it's becoming isn't something that it's the foundation of not turtle shell, if that makes sense. So if you step back and say the turtle shell is all of these crazy things constructed into something, the internet is bigger than, and technology and the microchips and the hardware, growth and improvements to it's going to be nuts, and it's intangible, and it's the foundation of creativity, I think, as so many other industries have been established. So think about it. I think technology is the place that your mind wants to go to when you're being creative, because it offers an endless list of possibility, and when your mind actually goes to it, it's giving up on that creativity, it's visualizing that creativity. So that thing that's in your mind that's so intangible becomes tangible, and that's a big thought. So maybe I'll listen to this one back and hold on that for a second, because that felt good. Sometimes you just think you hit it, and you know that you're speaking from somewhere that's true, and I don't know, where do feelings come from? I guess that's where it's speaking from, and then within those feelings, the creativity and just the DNA that is the makeup of who, what, and why everyone does what the hell they do. Because we're at a point now where our basic needs are taken care of, so we're all just kind of riding it out. I mean, no one's chopping wood for fire in LA. There's food at every corner, and I don't know. So it's a different world. That's all. So we'll cut this one off. This one's long. Ooh, this will be like the big one, big number 3, episode 3. Everyone talk about episode 3. Shit. So, alright, well, we're using the microphone tonight. That's good. I got some time in front of it. It is Sunday, so I have to go back to work tomorrow at the Walt Disney Company. Hey, that's pretty cool. It's always something I've wanted to do. It's an amazing corporation. I truly do enjoy it. A lot of great people. I have a great team that I'm working with there. So, so we're going to have to go do that tomorrow. So I'm going to sign off, and I'll probably do a couple more tonight. I'm getting a little bit slower. I always feel like with ideas, you can only sit and exercise that creative muscle so long, and then at some point in time, you just spent all that energy, and you got to go out and live life and do something to break whatever muscle you're flexing, and give that time to re-strengthen and potentially even grow and gain and become stronger, and then you use it all up again, and then your next time you're thinking a whole bunch of other thoughts, it actually grows a little bit bigger. So I don't know, I think that's how the world is. We're just expanding exponentially, one little thought bump at a time. So I'll leave you with that. Alright, everybody, talk to you in the next episode.